Point lead when he left for the Canadian camp. He's known more as a playmaker than a goal scorer, but he does have 17 goals in 27 games for the London Knights. And a chance, by the way, to play in a fourth consecutive Memorial Cup this year with London. Theodore bats that ahead, and Jake Vertanen had that swatted away. As Adrian Kempa plays it back, the LA first-round pick is Kempa. And here's Nylander, plays for Modo in the Swedish Hockey League. And Nylander, who lasted late in Toronto's training camp, spins back along the wall, throws it back in front. Petan picks it off and backhands it ahead. Robbie Fabry brings it in. Back for Nick Paul with a long shot, and Paul shot his glove in the NHL. And that shot flutters wide from Oliver Kylington. At the sign of the goal, spinning and sending it back in front is Axel Holmstrom. Late round pick of the Detroit Red Wings. Holmstrom at the sign of the goal, throws it back in front. There's a chance for Delarose. He's stopped, and Reinhart has it for Canada. Up ahead to Duclair. Anthony Duclair. Squeezed off the puck by Robin Norrell.
Every once in a while, we get reminded how young these guys are, and to me, that was one of those occasions.
Well, mentioning some of the Canadian players, if this is the arena where Wayne Gretzky played his last game in Canada, doesn't mean a lot to guys born in 95 and 96. That game was played in the spring of 1999. And yes, we are reminded how young they are and how we're not. In comes McDavid. Posts up, sends it back in front. The pass was in behind Josh Morrissey. Morrissey scored Canada's goal against the Russians on Friday. That all Western Hockey League defenseman with 28 last year. Dropped off. Bowie sends it back in front. Oh, what a save by Wall, and the one-timer by Nick Ritchie. Morrissey fires it home. Along with Duclair, the play's onside as Reinhart tried to shovel that in deep. And here's Reinhart playing it back in, needs a change, and Duclair picks it up. The pace of these games we've seen Friday and now tonight, Ray, really is quick.
I think one of the reasons it is that Canada seems to have a quicker team than last year. They want to push the puck up and down the ice, but they also have the ability to do it more mobile on the blue line than last year's team. I think that really helps them a lot.
Now a lead pass goes to Oscar Lindblom. The Philadelphia pick wraps it around. And Kylington comes in. Oliver Kylington is draft eligible in 2015, a player that a lot of people are talking about. He too played in the Swedish Hockey League as a 16-year-old. Arguably, the second best league in the world, either that or the KHL. And with the KHL having problems, you can make a strong case for the Swedish Hockey League being number 2.
Kylington scored a goal last year. He was the youngest player ever to score a goal in the Swedish Hockey League.
Just the 6th shot he's faced in this game. Here comes Nick Ritchie across the line, shoots. And this time Samuel Ward makes the stop and there's no rebound.
Here in Tri-Cities.
We mentioned that Domi and Nurse were surprise exclusions from last year's selection camp roster. Include Comrie in that list as well, not invited to try out. The second-round pick of the Winnipeg Jets. Swinging back is Leon Bristet. Now Bristet picks his way ahead.
Game or two at the start of the tournament, and you think by then he's going to be pretty comfortable again.
Canada open against the Slovaks on Boxing Day, then take on the Germans the next day, Finland December 29th, and it all wraps up in the round-robin portion with the United States on New Year's Eve. Connor McDavid versus Jack Eichel. And Noah Hannafin. And Lawson Krause is in that game. And it's Canada-USA on New Year's Eve.
And Austin Matthews.
Yes.
There's no shortage of great players to watch.
Now a penalty coming to Canada as Victor Olofsson was knocked off strike. Play continues as Comrie reaches back.
Better second period here. The first 10 minutes have been mostly in their control.
Now Hickett shovels that down towards the Swedish goal. Goes right on the wall. It's loose in front. Anthony Duclair. Woodson comes across. Holmstrom back with it. Being watched there by Moran. Shots are 17-14 Canada, so things evening up here in the second period. Here's Aho again. Not afraid to shoot it. Throws it down in the corner as Bristad goes looking for it. Moran wraps it around the boards, and Ritchie at the end of a long shift racing to it. Slides that back down to the Swedish zone. He'll start in a chain. Look out in front. Kylington almost miscommunicated there with Wall and put the puck in his own net. And Aho back with it. Lead pass goes to Bristad. It gets by Hetherington. And Connery will leave it there for Morrissey. Squeeze that by Delarose. Duclair looked ahead for Reinhardt. He couldn't glove it down.
Underneath them, but the Swedes have been pretty chippy tonight.
Now Bristad brings it ahead. Drops the puck off for Olofsson, the Buffalo 7th round pick. Down low is Morrissey. Ahead to Ritchie, can't chip it out. Aho's long shot goes off the leg of Hetherington. And Lazar swings back to pick it up. I want to be a difference maker, said Curtis Lazar when he came to the Canadian camp. In comes McDavid along with Lazar. McDavid works it back in front. Boom, shoots, he missed wide. Out the other side it comes. Lazar digging for it. And there's a taste of Connor McDavid. Lazar peels back in the corner. Drops it off to McDavid. Swings it back to Hetherington. And down low it goes to Ritchie. Sends it back in front. And that pass was picked off by Sweden's Oliver Kylington. Now turned over and a chance for Ritchie lifting that by. Final minute now of the second period. Canada with a 3-1 lead. Shots are 18-14 in favor of the Canadians. Here's Duclair with it. Drops it off to Domi. Works it back in front just out of the reach of Duclair. Now Nurse with a shot that goes off the leg of Bristad and wide. And Reinhardt shovels that back to Duclair. Down low for Reinhardt. Flips it back to Domi. Max Domi shoots. That goes off a skate high. Here's Nurse back with it. 25 seconds to go in the period. Back at the point. Theodore with a wrist shot. That's just wide.
He gets rid of the puck in a hurry.
There he comes again. Shoots. And in the glove of Ward it goes. Dropped back to Adrian Kempa. Now played rink wide for Kylington. Kylington back at the point for Forsley. His long shot bounces off the end boards. And one of the findings of that national summit, too much structure. Too much focus on structure and defense in Swedish hockey. Not enough focus on skill development. And the long shot goes just wide from Walmart. And Gauthier with it now for Canada through the middle. For Tannen. And Krause tried to knock that in. Canada in the midst of a change as Gauthier makes his way off. Back at the point, here's Darnell Nurse. Walks in and shoots. Ward taken down. Now swung ahead by Braden Point. He finds Duclair, who shovels it on goal. Hit the post off the stick of McDavid. And Ward is arguing again that he was interfered with. The Sweden brings it back the other way. Off the draw, here's Bergen with it. And picked up by McDavid, who's up there with Lazar. Anton Carlson goes rink wide for Christopher N. And posts up in front of Bowie. Now he goes to Carlson. And Anton Carlson feeds that back to the point to N. Walking in is Christopher N. Now drop back across to Carlson. Shoots it. Pinballs down in front. McDavid's got it with Lazar. Chance for a 2-on-1. In comes Lazar with McDavid. Curtis Lazar shoots. Rebound. It's skipped away from McDavid. And back comes Sweden the other way.
For the Kootenay Ice,
including 8 goals. There's often a drop-off when a player gets sent back. Not for him.
Scored his first shift. One way to come back, I guess.
Now Virtanen digs for it. And diving to poke it out is Asplund. Gets the move at the line by Moran. Drops it off, and that shot by Krause is stopped by Ward, who hangs on to that.
That Forsberg guy was pretty good, wasn't he?
He was okay. Now a steal by Duclair. Works in, and Duclair rolls that just wide of the goal. His performance, along with Sundstrom and Naslund at the 93 World Junior Championship, something to behold. 11 points in a game against Japan. Now, penalty coming against Canada late as it bounces back to Kylington. It skipped away from him.